One.
Hey everybody, we are back again for another part in another installment in the Chromebook coding beginner guide series tutorial. Right where we left off, except I did a couple little things. I changed around some of the settings with that image. I couldn't center. I just put a div around it, div, put a class on it, and made it, gave that div the zero margin. And actually, what's really doing it is I made it a flex container and justified the content. I think I can get rid of that and nothing will happen. Yep. Flex container is the type of display, and justify content's makes it basically just lines up whatever's in it. You should uh, look into flex containers. It's we can get into that later. It's a type of display. There's various types, but I like Flex a lot. Flex really gives you control over where stuff goes and how stuff is going to be presented on the web page. And the other thing I was trying to do was I was trying to make this look like a picture frame. Just I don't know. I was bored. So I was like, I was going to make it have a bigger border, and I wanted to make it brown. I'll show you this other cool little thing while we're just messing around here too. I have these like extensions. If you have a Chromebook, you probably have them too. Like I have one for my Gmail, which I get like 60 junk mails an hour. No, probably a day, but they're sorted, so it's all right. Then I have Google Keep. I don't know if you know about Google Keep. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like bookmarks. It kind of, you just click it when you like a web page or something, and it'll keep a post-it note, and you can categorize them, put notes on them, and you can just go back and look at them and link. You can write whatever you think. And this one's cool. This is like, if you remember like Windows back in the day. I mean still, but like for me back in the day, Windows, you could cascade your tiles. And basically, that's like if you've got two different tiles kind of like hanging out, you can make them two different tiles hanging out. You can make them line up right next to each other if you want to get stuff done like that. I use two monitors. I have a TV and then just my Chromebook, and I like everything's on the TV that I do. And then, I'll have what I'm working on the TV, and I'll have like what I'm researching on the laptop. Sometimes I'll flip it around depending on, I don't know, just depending. But that's a cool extension to have for like, especially for coding, because you gotta be doing a million things at once. Like I'm always researching something while working on something while doing something else. It's crazy. But back to test for YouTube. So I was gonna show you this. This is pretty cool. This is actually ad blocker. That's key, but this is pretty cool. Just colors by name. Where is it? Colors by name. Why don't you open? There you go. Colors by name. Now you're supposed to open. Oh, there you go. There it is. I don't know why it. There it is. I don't know why it was acting so funny there. But anyway, this one's a pretty cool one. If you notice, all the colors have. Let's see if we can get that to stay. All the colors have an RGB value, which is red, green, blue. A number from 0 to 255. One each for red, one for green, one for blue. They also have a hex hex number, which is a hashtag, and then 3 sets of 2 different. It can be a number or a letter, depending. It's a hexadecimal system. You can research it. It's complicated, basically, but and they also, some of the colors have predefined names, like slate blue. So every color, basically, of the millions of colors you can see has a hex and an RGB, but only kind of like a few have names. But they go through the full scale. So I was gonna look for a brown that would be like a good border color. I don't know. Saddle brown. What's this one? Sienna. Go with saddle brown. So this extension by this guy, Yao Santos, or I don't know how to say his name, but he makes some pretty nice extensions for Chrome. You just click on it and it automatically copies it to your clipboard, and you go over to where you want to use it, and you just paste it, and you get your saddle brown. I just thought that was a neat little thing I'd show you. That's a good tool to have when you're building a web page. Like, it's just nice to totally nice to be able to get to the color reference just easily like that. I'll show you a border radius too. Border radius is a neat little CSS property that you can do to kind of make it give it a little sleeker look. The more you go up, the more curved the edges get. So like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, you just keep going, and you say you wanted to get crazy with it. You could say 50%, and that would give you a circle. And then you probably want to go back to solid for your frame, but we're sticking it. I just want to create like a little bit of a border thing, like that kind of. Maybe tone that down a bit. You kind of play with this to get whatever look you want. You can just sit around and play with one little thing all day outset. You can see which one looks the best. Groove. Oh, Groove's kind of cool because it's like a retro sort of look. It's not bad. Something different. Then there's even something called box shadow, which I believe it takes in, you got to do 5 pixels for the x-axis, 5 pixels for the y-axis. Then there's a blur, we'll say 0, and then the color, we'll just say black. And that should give us a shadow effect. There's the shadow. We'll give it a blur to make it like more realistic looking shadow. Kind of makes it bigger. So there you go. You get like a realistic looking shadow. And you can mess with that. Give it more darker, kind of. The more you go up on the X and Y, the first 2 numbers, the deeper the shadow gets, kind of. It's neat. I'll go like 8 or something. I don't want to overdo it. And then like the less blur, the more it kind of just looks like a line drawn there. So like the blur is key to have. You want the blur, just like a little blur goes a long way. It just kind of adds a little bit of depth to your website, kind of things pop out or whatever. I think we're running out of time, and what I would probably end up doing is, I think I could give the image a border radius too to make it rounded off. I'm going to try that maybe for the next video. We'll try to round that middle border radius, and then maybe we'll build something down here, build like a link or something like that. All right, we're out in like 5 seconds here.